All right, my Radiance team wants to come and join the throne. While we're waiting for them to get over here, Joe is our guy for social media. He's currently having a very intense, super important conversation. But I just want you guys to know that he's killing it in the social media game, and he's doing a lot. So if you need any help with your social media or anything along those lines, talk to Joe. Say hi to Joe right now. He's filming this live. And if you have a startup or a company or anything that you want to go live with us on the Jersey City Tech Meetup, then just let me know, or Joe will make it happen. And one more note, pop in there. Get comfy. And then one more note, after party at Pet Shop after the panel. It's going all night long. Pedal will be there, keg stands. What's up, guys?
Thanks for having me.
So the computer screen isn't changing, but now just imagine that has all of their faces on it, and we use our imaginations from there because it's not exactly doing its thing. All right, everyone high five someone you don't know real quick while we're setting up. Yeah, it's golden. All right, you're giving up on that presentation. It's all good. All right, so guys, hello, everybody. So anyway, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but if you haven't, you definitely are about to know now. These guys are creating this amazing Zen festival called Radiance. They're incorporating wellness, yoga, meditation, opening up your chakras, good vibes of community, just kind of bring everyone together and just make magic happen. So they all kind of came from different walks and different backgrounds to kind of come together to form this Radiance community. I'm gonna get chill. So Zen out. So I just kind of want to start with you guys going around and kind of giving a brief introduction of yourself and kind of what you do and how it brought you all together in whatever order you'd like.
Well, hi everybody. First we want to say thank you to Ben so much. You're so gracious for inviting us here, and we're super excited to be here.
Guys, can we please keep the noise down in the back? Just trying to hear the panel going on right now. All right, thank you so much, Monica. Carrie.
So as I was saying, thank you, Ben, for having us. And we are the Radiance Festival team, and we're really excited to get to know all of you guys too. And my name's Monica Adams, and we started Radiance Festival in May, and we had the first one in June, and the next one's coming up in October. And my background is, before Radiance Festival, I worked at an entrepreneurial community called Founders, and in a year I ran about 58 events, so I'm no stranger to events. Events like this one, networking and mingling, even to large-scale 2-day conferences with 300 people with the top leaders like Eric Thomas, Gerard Adams, Peter Vogt, Daniel DiPiazza, and it was a lot of fun. But my heart has always been in spirituality and mental wellness, so I left that to continue my company called Operation Muse, where I teach meditation and mind hacking, and met all of these lovely people through those different events and through my workshops, and we had a similar vision and we made it happen. So that's my story.
Yeah. Thanks, Monica. Hi everyone, it's really incredible to be here and with this amazing company. So I was working in health and wellness for about 2 years at Equinox, actually. And it was a really great experience, high pressure job. And eventually I realized that there was a little bit more to life, and so I started to look for other options. And in that, I decided to kind of build my own business, and I'm an urban wellness coach. So I really help the modern mind find balance between accelerated technology and slow living. So as this being the Tech Wellness Meetup, it's kind of hitting home for me. So I'm really excited to share a little bit more about what got me into that. But I jumped in with Radiance because they have a really amazing vision, and ultimately it aligned with what I see for the world. So yeah, I would say that's my intro, and my name is Alexa Eden. So I'm excited to get to know you guys. Thanks for coming tonight.
I got my own. Hi guys, how's it going? Hey. Come on, we can do better than that. I need some energy. How are we doing? There we go. So my name is Justin Cruz. I'm a DJ, music producer, audio engineer, kind of just everything sound related is kind of directed my way. At a very early age, I realized how important music and sound is to all of us and how much of an important role it plays in all of our lives. And I really decided to take that calling on at an early stage. I've DJ'd weddings, Sweet 16s, literally every event you can think of, I've been there. DJing for over 10 years, producing for over 10 years. Just started getting into event production about 5 years ago. Throwing events at clubs, small halls, big halls, and now with this beautiful, wonderful team, our first festival in June. And it's honestly a dream come true. Just the fact that I get to host my own space and allow people to be themselves, a safe space to come and be themselves and forget about life for a little bit, you know what I mean? So I'm really excited to talk about Radiance. I think you guys are gonna love it. And as far as my position in Radiance, I handle music obviously, but also operations and logistics. So that's me. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Whoa, thank you, Justin, for sharing that. Welcome, everybody. Again, always love to start off with just expressing gratitude to be able to connect with each and every person in this room. And thank you to Ben for having us here and being able to share you know, what we've been through, our story, and what really brought us together. My name is Brian Martinez. I'm known as a perception-altering poet and a public speaker, and I've gone through quite a bit throughout this human experience, where within the recent years, I have drifted a lot, you know, throughout my life, just being pulled in so many different directions as a person who has no problem with blending and adapting to an environment. I came across Monica and each one of these beautiful individuals where we found a space, we had a vision, we shared it, we expressed it, and through creative expression, just being able to find your voice. You know, I've learned so much about the power of language and being in the tech space, being, you know, human beings who deserve and need wellness to, you know, and live a prosperous life. I've come to learn how important it is to create the language and own that, but be mindful of what we say, because what we say literally attracts what we bring into our lives. And as we dive deep into our story, you guys are gonna discover just how we were able to create this through our language and just empowering each other with that. And I'm super excited to share with you guys just what we have going on. So thank you for being here.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Mike. I'd like to start off with also expressing my gratitude, because we always have to come from a place of love. So thank you for being here, spending the time to connect with everyone, listen to what we have to say. I'm known as Kyle. I'm one of the co-founders of Radiance. So interested to see what's gonna pop out of my mouth. Probably starting out, I've always been a curious young lad. And throughout life, I've always just followed the mysterious, intuitive pulls to do whatever I was guided to do. And that started in filming, making comedy videos with my friends, turned into a film company. I liked branding, I naturally liked entrepreneurship. I started a film company and did personal training. Not knowing what entrepreneurship was, just knowing that I could do this and make a little bit of money to go spend and have some fun, cool. And I did that throughout high school and college, and I realized I was always obsessed with just figuring out how to optimize as a human being. First starting with body, of wanting to get a shredded physique because I just wanted to get some girls when I was younger, and that turned into, oh my gosh, I feel so good, and this is great, I'm bettering my overall well-being, and I like to be shredded. That's just something my ego enjoys. I'm a Leo. I like having this mic in my hand as well. I like talking here. And then, so I did personal training, all that kind of stuff, and then got turned on to mindfulness and meditation. Probably the main thing I'd say if we met on the street and you're like, oh, what do you do? I'm a meditation trainer. That's probably what I'll tell you. And a toxic relationship led to my spiritual journey. And then the first time meditating, getting those tingly sensations where I was like, oh shit. My body's buzzing. And I had no idea what it was, but I was so curious. It was so awesome. And so I just became obsessed with energy, with getting into deeper meditative states, sustaining them, learning about the human energy system. I studied Eckhart Tolle's work. That was the first kind of dude who popped into my life, and I read his series, learned about the ego. I realized within spirituality, I kept it pretty practical. Because I think of spirituality kind of like fitness, like, oh, I'm in fitness. Like, what do you mean? Do you swim? Do you lift weights? Do you play croquet? What the hell do you do in fitness? So there's so much within spirituality. So the main things that I would say I do is I studied like the evolution of the ego and humanity, how it individually affects you, how to dissect someone's ego, how it affects me, and just learning to wash that little fucker. And then learning how to get a deeper present state, sustain that. Learning about the human energy system and the chakras and how that correlates with manifesting things that we want, and learning that it's not about chasing things. We actually can learn to get in our place of power to attract the life that we desire. And then not knowing college was for me, doing ventures, finally got an opportunity to work for celebrity entrepreneur Gary Vaynerchuk at VaynerMedia. Worked for him for about 4 months doing personal brand strategy and video production. So that little skill set of video that I'd liked for fun is what got my foot in the door for working with this dude. And I got to film Daily V and the Ask Gary V show and got to observe the shit out of him, which was just a game changer. And then after I left that, I was pulled to do still personal branding and video production because I had all the leverage and the money was there. But I think what really pulled me to, my part of manifesting this team in Radiance is making the decision that this is cool, I'm good at it, I like it. I was just good at making people famous and content marketing and stuff, but I really just wanted to spread Zen. My personal brand is the Zen Wizard. I'm like, this is what I want to do. I've been watching the mindfulness market, screw it, let's eat shit, let's teach meditation, let's live life to the fullest. And then 3 weeks later, boom, Radiance popped out of our ass. And here we are. So yeah, that's me.
Truly inspiring words, very beautiful.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, it's very, very beautiful. Wow, I love to hear all your diverse backgrounds and kind of where you came from and what brought you all together. This is really amazing. And I kind of want to get an idea of, for the audience's sake, I would like, whoever really wants to grab the mic, I want you to break down what Radiance is and what brought you on your separate journeys. How did you all find this community with each other that kind of enables a bigger sense of community with the outside world? Alexa's taking it.
So I think each of us kind of had independent experiences where we were starting to look into spirituality or meditation in some way, and to the extent that we felt kind of like we were on our own journey. I think when you start engaging with meditation or spirituality, not necessarily everyone around you gets it. They're like, well, I don't do that, so I don't know what you're talking about. And I think what is one of the things that we've all kind of come to learn is that we've found a community that understands what the process is like. And I think what Radiance is really founded on is creating a space for people to feel that they can explore wellness in this capacity. And it doesn't have to be so serious. It can be really fun. It can be really approachable. And going back to what you said, Kyle, about practicality, meditation isn't go sit on a mountain and do nothing. It's how do you fuse it into your lifestyle so you can be optimal. And so we really wanted to bring meditation and wellness and alignment to a space that was approachable and fun and invited everyone to really enjoy that. So I think that's kind of how Radiance was founded, and it's a 5-hour festival for now, but we have a vision, of course, which we'll share. And we really allow people to kind of explore all different types of wellness modalities. So whether it's meditation, whether it's Reiki or acupuncture or dance, ecstatic dance, breath work, we really provide all of the tools for people to explore this in a fun way. So we also have Justin, who does the beats, which are really exciting and awesome. And so we curate this experience, and the first one was astronomically exciting, really great, and we're really excited to bring it back in October 21st.
Where would that be for the audience? Where could they find it?
Paramount, New Jersey.
Oh,
Yes, the
yeah,
audience
exactly.
knows.
I'm Googling it.
Thank you. Gary Mountain, New Jersey. We'll share all the information with you guys so that way you're up to date. Thanks for that, Ben.
Awesome. Anyone else want to jump in? Or?
Yeah, I kind of want to, when you check us out online, you're going to notice that we share with you our 3 values, and I truly do believe that our 3 values is what brought us all together, and those are self-expression, deep connection, and transformation. And I can speak on behalf of my personal experience, that is what led to all of this. One by one. Self-expression, deep connection, and transformation. That is the experience that we provide for you at Radiance Festival. It really does, and it's honestly an experience that you have to go through and know that you're going through it with others that are open to understanding. It's super important for us to be open-minded and open-hearted with one another, and that is what I found by connecting with each and every one of these individuals that you see right next to me. You know, I was able to express my vision, I was able to express my truth, and through that, this bond where it's like, we meet, and when we meet and we get together, we share a hug, and at Radiance Festival, you're gonna experience a hug like never before, where you really become one with the person that you're hugging. Like, it's intense, it's amazing. But honestly, that is what has transformed my life.
We can do those tonight. We'll start tonight with those hugs.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
We don't need to wait for the hugs. The hugs happen.
And it's known to release a lot of feel-good chemicals in our bodies, so just saying. But yeah, those 3 values, you will experience it, and it's a tool that we provide for you to take and really just create a domino effect in the world, because the world needs it now more than ever, and we're making sure that we start that fire. And we're cooking up something real hot. Real hot.
Power. To piggyback off of what they said, I think with Radiance of really providing just a safe place with no judgment and to freely express yourself, because back in the beginning of my spiritual journey, which was started 4 years ago after a bad, mentally toxic relationship, and then Eckhart Tolle's work coming to me out of nowhere and it resonating with me really significantly, and just definitely just really shifted my mindset and my mental framework. But I couldn't share anything with anyone. For at least 9 months, I meditated every day, I read books, I studied, I journaled. I couldn't tell anyone because it was just weird. It was just weird to talk about energy, it was just weird to talk about spirituality or meditation. And especially when you're on that kind of journey alone, having conversations with yourself, with the ego up here, it has a way better chance of taking hold of that conversation and pulling it to a place that you don't want it to go, into getting into toxic cycles and doubting yourself and say no, just continue with the flow, this is what everyone else is doing. And really getting caught up and being worried on judgment on what you think the possibility of someone else is perceiving you as. And so as soon as I got my first 2 Zen friends, met at a party when I went home from college one time, and we're oh, you meditate? Yeah, what? You study consciousness? Yeah, man, sweet. And then the next 4 months really accelerated my mental growth and just everything. Just to be able to text my buddy and be yo, I just radiated my heart chakra and I had this thought and blah, blah, blah. Just little shit like that. just helps so much, and to be around just a group of people to fully express yourself is just something super special. You know, really a group of people to just get up in there and get weird. Like, everyone just has to get weird sometimes. If you come to Radiance, we're gonna do a chakra dance that I'm gonna guide and perform, and we're gonna get super weird on the dance floor. But also, and what Alexa said, is just like that safe place to express yourself, but also like the connotation behind like meditation and spirituality. Like, I'm sure a lot of people will just think of like a monk, like sitting on a mountain with like this deep music, like, you know, like we really want to make it like the chakra dance that I do because pretty much every morning I do energy meditations, and I put on like upbeat, like Petite Biscuit, like EDM music, and meditate to like really like cool, fun music that you listen to at the club. So we just really want to be the ones kind of like modernizing meditation, teaching what it's really for, bringing it into your life, because we want you to meditate and then take the skills that you learn in that meditation to your day-to-day life. You know, I think a lot of people just meditate and be like, that was cool, and then back to life. So it's kind of taking those practices of self-awareness. I describe the practice of meditation as just self-awareness strength training. You know, if you stop working out, you're not going to build muscle, you're not putting demand, you're not going to generate any more muscle, you're going to lose muscle over time. It's the same thing with your self-awareness in your mind. If you're not constantly being aware of your thoughts, aware of your emotional cycles, aware of how you react to situations, how you react to environment, how you are in the workspace, then you're not going to be able to change the things. You can't change what you're unaware of. And that's why meditation is about becoming more self-aware and taking that practice into your daily life.
Drop the ball.
Awesome. No, thank you for the wisdom. Kind of going off of that, like what you're talking about with like the ego thing, that kind of resonated with me a little bit. Like, some people are scared to do the thing they truly feel passionate about because their ego, it's not like the cool thing to do. And that's why community is important. Kind of Jersey City Tech Meetup, we're all about bringing the community together, where whatever it is that you're all about, like you can be comfortable doing that in your own skin.
Support.
So like, what is your guys' take on like why community is so important to kind of make someone propel in their endeavors, whether that's a startup or a project or their own business that they work for? Monica? I see you see it.
Well, Brian's our community director, so I'll let him do it.
So one thing that I've really been running with, and if you really look at the word community, that word cannot exist without unity.
Amen, sister.
You know, the great Wayne Dyer said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. And a year and a half ago, I drove throughout our beautiful country where my perception of life was just like blown away. And I'm driving straight for miles. Thank God for cruise control, because I was not trying to accelerate, none of that. I was able to really just go and let go as I was going. But as I'm driving down this path, I was really just thinking to myself, like, props to whoever paved this way for us. Like, honestly, like, people came together to pave the roads for us to walk on, for us to drive and get from point A to point B. You know, it wasn't one person that was like, hey, let me build this long road for everyone else to, you know, get to their destination. No, people came together and literally and metaphorically speaking, paved the way for us to walk on. And think of yourselves in that same position. We work with people on a daily basis, you know? Even if it's just opening the door for somebody, we don't realize what kind of an impact that has for that person. You know? And it's really just taking time to be mindful of the actions that we take and know that our purpose does matter because someone else is being impacted by that. And when we can embrace our unique role in this life, we don't realize the path that we can pave for somebody else. And at Radiance, that, you know, just getting weird, getting uncomfortable, if you're always in your comfort zone, it's great for support, but then you're not growing. You know, whether it is in your business or in your personal relationships, you have to step out of those boundaries in order to discover something new within yourself. And at Radiance, we're gonna make sure that we not only guide you through that experience, but we're gonna go through that experience together, because that is what community is all about. empowering the unity within what we have as a collective human race.
That was amazing.
I have a question. I'm gonna piggyback off that because I like what you said about ego, Ben. Question: who here has ever felt like they were alone? I know I have. And just to show you that I'm human, I'm gonna tell you why there's some times where I feel alone. I sometimes think that I'm gonna get made fun of because I like Disney music. Straight up, like I like Disney music. I like girly poppy vocals sometimes. It gets me in the mood. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I like to listen to sometimes. You know what I mean? It gets me going. Yeah, I like to hear it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's super important to understand that everybody feels alone, so that makes you not alone. See what I'm saying? There's a community always waiting out there, and if somebody decides to make fun of you or laugh at you, just understand that there's something deep down inside their bodies that is waiting to come out, and they can't, because for so long they've been taught that it's gay, it's not the right thing to do. It's like, wow, you're happy? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, what kind of mentality is that? I don't understand that. I would never understand that, you know what I mean? And a lot of things, it's like, I like to talk the truth. And it's hard for people to hear the direct truth sometimes, just because it's not what we want to hear. Like, it's not what you want to see. It's like, I'm so uncomfortable. And for so long, we run away from the truth, and it's actually hurting us over and over and over again. And at Radiance, I strive to build a foundation to bring that truth out, but not to be judged by it. Like, you are who you are, and that's it. Showcase that. Self-expression, 100%. I don't care how weird it is. Like, you should see me in my room sometimes. All I needed is a DJ setup, and I'm in a different world. But I create that bubble for myself because I'm just like, this is me, and this is all I'm ever gonna be, and I'm happy doing this. That's what gives me the confidence, and I want the same thing for every single person in this room and for everybody who attends Radiance. So I highly recommend coming just to experience a different side of society, a community, an actual community.
While on this topic of the ego, the egoic mind, I feel pulled just to describe how I perceive the ego. I think of the ego as primitive intelligence that when we are born, it is already ingrained in our DNA and cells of how to survive and thrive with the planet Earth, in which we come from. And I like to think of the planet Earth like a tree and us as the fruits. And just for so long, we've just been at war with nature. We've been at war with planet Earth. And so the ego, the way it works in your mind, I describe kind of like our mind is just like a messenger system. And so the ego has its own source of thought, which everyone has a different kind of ego, and it only operates in the confines of time within this physical reality, which is in the third dimension. So it's either going to pull thoughts of the past, which past thoughts is just memories in your brain, and it's just going to project thoughts in your mind of mental movies of future possibilities, which the future is filled with infinite possibilities, and the future is literally an illusion. Because when tomorrow happens, it's gonna be now.
Holy shit!
Seriously, like, think about it. When tomorrow happens, it's gonna be right now. When you eat dinner later tonight, or if not, if you fast or something, it's gonna be now. This is literally the only moment we live in. And so the ego only operates and spews thoughts in your mind related to the past and related to the future. So when I talk to people, because I do like meditation training and mindfulness coaching, it's like, where is the foundation of your thinking? So if you can be quiet with yourself for a little bit, which is the hardest skill for every human to do, and just let your mind wander for a little bit, and then practice being the awareness, practice watching it. Because we are not our thoughts, and we are not our emotions. Thoughts and emotions are just energy, and it is just information. Thoughts and emotions is just data of the moment that we can learn from or not. When we get these past thoughts that get trapped in our mind, it's like playing the same song on repeat. We're literally energetical time travelers. We're physically right here, but we're thinking about a past situation that has just been pissing us off or making us sad, and we're living in that thought process, in that emotional cycle. We are energetically living in the past, but we're just physically here. But what are you experiencing? And so finding the foundation of your thinking, or do you have more thoughts that are pulling you into the future? Do you have thoughts of just this present moment, thoughts of the past? Identify where the foundation of your thinking is throughout the day, in any moment, anytime you feel stressed or overwhelmed. Where's the foundation of my thinking? Where is it? What's pulling me? I'm thinking, why am I so anxious about the future? Why am I so stressed out about this exam next week? Why am I so stressed about work tomorrow? Boss, bad relationships. Why do I not want to go home? Why is this past event still in my mind? We have to learn to just sit with ourselves in quiet, just to hear what the fuck the chatter's going on up here. And that's why meditation is the practice of self-awareness. And I feel like, and now it sounds like the ego's like, oh, this fucking ego, screw this guy. Because through my experience, I always fought at first, like I hated the ego. It was like, it causes stress, it causes anxiety, it causes all this shit. But realizing that we actually self-create all these problems because we're just unaware of what's causing all our stress and causing all our anxiety. So it's just learning to sit with your thoughts and your emotions and submerge yourself in it, because it's all about acceptance. Acceptance is fully allowing yourself to experience all the thoughts and emotions that you're experiencing right now. So what are you thinking right now? You think about, like, there's a fucking crazy wizard up here with a hat, like, what's going on? What kind of emotions are you feeling right now? You know, let's look at that from time to time. Why not? Let's dissect it. Let's see what kind of answers we can get. But I feel like collective society kind of thinks of the ego like a gremlin, and I like to think of the ego like a pet puppy dog. Because you can never get rid of the ego. And so when you get a new pet puppy dog, you have to watch, train, and tame that puppy dog. Otherwise, he's gonna bark all the time, eat your shoes, eat your couch, he's gonna piss and shit all over the house.
Shit on the pillow.
Shit, that's a new one, shit in the pillow. And if you leave the door open, he's gonna run away. That house is your mind and body. So you have to learn to watch, tame, and train your ego so that you can take control of it. And then learn to utilize it. Utilize your ego. You know, learn how your ego, like, what he likes. Like for me, like, I'm a Leo and my ego loves attention. Loves being the center of attention. I know it. I gotta shut him up sometimes. You know, learn to have different, I talk to my ego. Like, a lot of people, like, talk aloud, positive talk to themselves. Like, I like to have several different conversations with my helps, which helps separate me from my mind, separate me from my thoughts, separate me from my emotions, so that when I go through stress and I go through anxiety and I'm like, I'm fucking pissed right now, but I'm like, why? Why do I feel so angry? Why do I have these thoughts in my head that are messed up, that I don't want in here? Why do I feel this way? This sucks. You gotta accept it. You have to accept it, and then watch your thoughts and watch your emotions, and that's how you dissect it. And mindfulness, which is from the practice of meditation, mindfulness is just self-awareness. When you're self-aware of the thoughts and emotions that negatively affect you, caused by the ego, but released, because when the ego spews a negative mental projection in your head, you're unconsciously aware of it. We're so identified with our thoughts that unconscious belief amplifies the emotion in that thought process, and that's what triggers the emotional process, and then you go through the same cycle over and over. But if we can learn to separate more and more and more, and to be aware when those thoughts come into our mind, and realize when it's wandering about BS, watch it, bring your attention back to right now. When we focus our attention on the moment, that's when you hack presence. If I can focus on what's going on right now without judging, analyzing, or criticizing anything that I'm picking up, anything that I'm viewing, seeing, thinking, feeling, I'm very present. And we're more calm, and we can dissect all our internal issues and find the root causes to our problems and not treat symptoms.
Thanks, Kyle. That was awesome. No, that was good. It was very insightful, and we appreciate it. I kind of want to piggyback off that a little bit and direct this question to Alexa and Monica, kind of about the mindfulness and thinking about now and not kind of tomorrow and the next day and what happened yesterday. I want to kind of tie this all back to entrepreneurship and social media and kind of what people go through on a day-to-day basis and practices they could use to kind of elevate themselves and help get their day-to-day life. Because I think a lot of times on social media, you know, people glorify their lives and just make it like everything's perfect and just like, oh, everything's dope, I'm traveling the world, everything's so cool. And I notice I even do that sometimes, so I kind of make a point to every once in a while do a vulnerable post that is scary, but it's like more real. So I kind of was wondering from your perspective, what you thought about how people could kind of balance, you know, constant day-to-day being in that inner web of just everything being perfect, but in reality they're kind of just spending too much time in this technological thing that is kind of taking away from their mindfulness. So how could they find that kind of balance?
Thanks for that one. I could probably talk about this for a long time, but I'm not going to. I do want to say that what's interesting is that along the rise of social media in our lives and how that's evolved and become more prevalent, our relationship to technology has completely shifted. And so I think it's first important to distinguish between social media and technology. Technology is an incredible tool in our lives. It's gotten us access to places across the world instantly. And it really has allowed us to be more efficient and effective human beings. On the other hand, once social media became a little bit more present, the design of it actually was designed to have addictive tendencies. So the important thing to recognize is that given the design of the addictive tendencies, we have the ability to recognize it as that and to choose how we use technology in our lives. As it accelerates, one of the things to be mindful of is that in order to stay present, you have to actually choose to do that. What's funny is that I was actually a brand strategist before I became an urban wellness coach. And so I was helping people build their brand online. And ironically, I shifted because I realized that what people were trying to create online was almost meaningless because it wasn't authentic to themselves. So what I wanted to do was actually help people recognize the importance of technology in their life every day, only if they used it in a powerful way. So I could sit and scroll on Instagram for an hour, but I'm consuming. Versus I could sit on Instagram and connect with human beings around the world that have different perspectives and different point of views. So it's really intentionally how you're using technology in your life. And I think knowing that this is kind of like a tech meetup conversation, it's all about intentionality and how you choose to use it every day in your life. One of the things I see all the time is people waking up every single morning and the first thing they do is look at their phone. And okay, great, it gets you access to everything. But what about your day? What about your choice to create the day that you want? You don't have that anymore because I woke up and I saw those messages and that email and that notification, and all of a sudden 30 minutes has gone by and I've got to make coffee and run out the door. So it's how do you intentionally create structures in your life so that way you're empowered by your technology and it's not controlling you. So that's a lot of the things that I talk about when it comes to striking a balance between accelerated technology and slow living. And I think it's really important because as technology continues to advance, when we're going to have glasses soon that give us access to everything, and we're going to have AI and really everything. The only thing that will remain the same is humanity. So how do you master your humanity? And I think that's really what meditation provides us, is that ability to master our humanity alongside technology. So being optimized in that space. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, thank you so much. And then I kind of want to direct this next one to Monica. Kind of just moving along the line. Kind of from like, I guess the business side of like health and wellness. If someone like wanted to get into this space, not only like how could they like find their way or like kind of create something in this space, but how can they use these daily practices of like meditation and yoga and everything to kind of be more productive, I guess, in general, just to kind of like optimize your own performance in like kind of creating something like this? I was wondering what your perspective is on that.
So when it comes to creating a business, everyone always knows you have to fill a need. And people need to feel connected. They need to have their peace of mind. And this industry is growing tremendously. So it's a perfect opportunity to do that because people don't know how to get Zen. People don't know how or where their peace is. And if you have the tools to provide that with someone, they will pay you to do that because no one can go without peace of mind and sanity for a long extended amount of time. So it's a perfect industry to get into. Second of all, you will feel really good doing it. You will feel tremendously good doing it, and it fuels you. Every time I get out of a meditation class that I lead, I am on fire, and I want to talk to everyone and hug everybody because I'm just like, wow, like I just saw people go from black and white to color, like quite literally. And when it comes to how can your intuition, how can meditation help you, whether you're creating a business or you're just a mom, or I also this is triggering something where like, there's so much right now where like, find your purpose in work and go after that. And yeah, that's great, but you are purposeful just by being you. Just because you're alive, you are purposeful. You mean something to so many people, and probably people you haven't even met yet. So you are purposeful. You don't have to find your passion and pursue it and make money off of it. You can just be who you are. And you're purposeful. But also, something that I've loved in my mission is to really help people align their head with their heart. And we live up here, and that's great because we can do our taxes, and we can follow directions, and we can balance a checkbook. But when you actually tap in down here, embody all of the things that you guys all know everything we're saying is true. Like everyone knows truth when it hits you. And it hits you first here before it hits you here. And that's so true on like a scientific level. So we have electromagnetic fields. Your brain has one and it goes about here, and your heart has one and it goes about here. So when people say, follow your heart, when people say, listen to your intuition, it's because quite literally, it's been proven that your heart is a smart organ, much like your brain. It processes information, it holds memories, it can pick up information very quickly, way faster than your mind can. So when you look at someone and you're like, they look like someone I should talk to, go talk to them before your mind gets in and be like, nah, that'd be weird. Go talk to them. Or when your intuition is like, go into that cafe and you run into someone that you didn't even expect to running into them. Because your heart can literally pick up information that your eyes and your mind cannot see. So intuition, your meditation, whatever practice works for you. For us, clearly we love meditation. But like, seriously, dance, music, yoga, there's so many things that can get you in that heart space, and use that and run with it and really follow your heart. Really follow it.
Thanks so much, guys. All right, so kind of looking at the time, I was thinking that to kind of wrap this up before a quick Q&A, not to put you on the spot, but kind of start with Brian, just working our way down. Everyone could just do some closing remarks, kind of why people should come out to Radiance, maybe some spoken word, I don't know. Just an idea I had. But yeah, just kind of starting with Brian and just working our way down. Just what do you want to share with the audience today?
So a question that has helped me really just sit and reflect on all of this, like, remove the I. It's funny how I can identify as I, you say I, you say I. Who is this I? And it kind of reminds me, no, it's we, you know? So this question that always pops up for me is just, what are we doing with our lives? Time flies by in like the blink of an eye, so does that imply we should just improvise? So often we get caught up in the hours, by the hour, after hours, not using up the time to find exactly what should be ours. Scrolling away effortlessly. Minds living in social media, posting for people to see. Compare and contrast and ask, who is it we're posing to be? So let's not take this the wrong way and use these tools to our advantage. Because networking and meeting new people Now that is something our minds can manage, though allowing the opinions of others to hold us back from being ourselves. When we're in that casket with regret, tell me, is there anybody else? What are we doing? Increasing curiosity, starting to ask questions. If we listen for an answer, our hearts will give us a suggestion. So everybody, put your hands up, put them up, shake them out. Loosen up all that tension. Now relax, clear the mind. Believe in what you're looking for, and that's exactly what you'll find. Positive energy is alive, and it's moving all around us. Energetically connecting through each and every person, so it's the vibes that we need to trust. Understand this, life isn't perfect, but we can somehow paint a perfect picture. Because you see, this reality is just an image of our own written scripture. So a good question to ask ourselves is simply, what are we really doing with our lives? And as I always end off, is that we're not here to talk about it. We're here to be about it. Just be.
My name's the Zen Wizard. I gotta get it. JK. I can't rap though. If I'm feeling it, you know, I got a pretty good intuition. What was the last question you asked?
Yeah, just final words.
Not you, Ben. Brian.
Whatever, Zen.
What are we doing with our lives? It just resonates with me. What are we doing with our lives? It's a question I've been really pondering in a deep manner the past couple of months. And we always talk about finding our why, finding our passion, finding our purpose. And I think the key to really following the breadcrumbs to figure these things out is finding the why within every moment. Not just the why of why this is your goal, but why are you feeling this way consistently? You know, why are you doing what you're doing in work? Like really broadening your perception on everything going on and happening in your life. That's why like journaling is so important. Like journaling is so important. Just to reflect, just to put things down, just to get all these thoughts that are wrapped up in your mind and put them on the ground. That was pretty good. But no, so that's why I've just been like, I've been obsessed with optimizing, and figuring out body, mind, soul, spirituality, and it's just like, okay, what's our goal? Like happiness, like, cool, that's awesome, yeah, we should all feel fucking great. And then just looking at life, I see we just have two choices, and in this life, as humans, we are gifted the power of choice. And I see fear, ego, and I see love. And I think we just balance between the two. And if we really just see life in two choices, and if we're gifted with the power of choice, another question that always raises up is, how much control do we have over these choices? I feel like we all know that we have our place of power and we can control the lives that we want to live, but what's actually really controlling all these choices that we're making? And it just starts with just that deep realization and belief that like, this, right here, everyone like look around, like this moment, whatever you're feeling, like put your attention inward, put your attention to things around you. Literally the only moment you ever live in. And one thing that's interesting that I've been doing since like college is like, what if we put our full focused attention on learning to enjoy every moment to our fullest, and just letting those futuristic thoughts kind of fade and moving our focus to what's going on right now. What's the task at hand? Because it's funny, because I was always learning in college how to be more productive. How can I be more productive? And then after like doing all these things and like getting mad at myself, I was getting so mad at myself, putting too much on my to-do list, stressing myself out, comparing myself to others of who I wanted to be, and then getting into meditation, realizing like meditation is the key to being productive because you're just learning on how to focus your full attention on the now. Literally, the practice of meditation is learning how to use all of your senses to focus on just what's happening now. That's why we focus on our breath, the feeling of your body, the sounds going on around you without judging, analyzing, or criticizing. Because as soon as a judgment, or if you criticize, or anything, that's just ego. So it's watching that. So it's learning to keep our attention in the now and then train and strengthen our self-awareness for when our mind wanders off in the past, in the future, about whatever it is, just simply becoming aware that your mind is wandering and be like, hey little guy, come on back here.
Hey Kyle, can I ask you something?
Sure.
I'm curious, like genuinely. How do you feel that everything that I love everything that you say. I'm always like hanging on every single word.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I'm trying to hear myself. Okay, we're back.
Okay.
Didn't have the mic for a second.
I am curious about how people can find this at Radiance. Like, how is it that everything that you're saying right now, like, how does it tie to Radiance? Because I love what you're saying, but if I was sitting here, I'd be like leaving, and I want more. So like, how do I get more? Like, how can I learn more? And how is Radiance a place for everyone to learn that, like to be there? Like, I genuinely want to know what you have to say about Radiance.
Give us more, Kyle.
Radiance. When I think about Radiance Festival and the environment and everything we're doing, I think about reaching and sustaining deep states of presence and raising vibrations. And by getting and sustaining a deeper state of presence, you automatically raise your vibrations, because everything is vibrational. Everything is energy. And I think when you just step into that collective environment of radiance, I think you automatically are just gonna hit a deep state of presence, and you're gonna leave being like, what the shit? I feel so fantastic. I feel so energized. I didn't even drink. I didn't do any drugs. And so that's why just learning to be in the moment, and when you surround yourself with people like that, everything is energy. That old quote of you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with is completely freaking true, because everything is energy. What they are radiating from their aura, their electromagnetic fucking fields, whatever they're radiating of their attitude, their dominant beliefs, their current perceptions, they are going to be affecting you. And that's why you're the average energy of the people you surround yourself with. And then what we provide, that foundational energy at Radiance, and what we encourage in people coming there, it's just high vibrations, and it's just something to experience. I consider awareness as power. Knowledge is just essential. But at the end of the day, you need to experience it for yourself. I can jabber all freaking day on this shit. But if you don't actually go and do some meditation, or go do an ecstatic dance with moi, or come to Radiance Festival, then you're never gonna know, because you're never gonna get the experience. So I encourage everyone to experience the now.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.
What's up, Monica? Hey, yo.
I just want to ask Kyle, like, what time it is always, because he'll just...
The time is now.
Now o'clock.
It is always now.
I literally don't think about time. Yo, I literally don't think about time during the day. My mind works on project base, and I never know what day it is. And on Sunday, which I call Zen Day, I practice separating the shit from time, from days, from months, and it fucking works. I like doing weird shit like that.
But don't get
I like
fired from
testing
your
out
job by
what
not showing
I
up.
imagine. I like to test out what just pops into my imagination. I don't need any facts around it. I consider I'm sorry, Monica, I'm just, don't get me back in here, goddamn.
Okay, so anyways.
Wait, I want to say this one thing.
I really want to hear questions from people, so I just
Yeah,
want to be
that's what I'm
mindful.
We have
excited
6
for.
more minutes, and then we gotta definitely do questions.
Okay,
I'm
fine.
I'm curious.
Can I hit him with one line? Can I hit him with one line?
One line.
I consider imagination the operation system that creates your reality.
Holy shit. It's a lot of.
Let's transfer.
Okay, all right, anyways. Beautifully said, Kyle. Thank you for all of that. So you said imagination, so I'll run with the whole imagination thing, and I will encourage you guys all to open your imagination, and I'll paint a picture for you. So it is a beautiful fall day. You wake up, and you decided that you're going to try this thing called Radiance Festival that you heard a wizard tell you all about at a tech panel. And so, as you roll up in your car to this amazing reservation park filled with lush trees and beautiful autumn leaves and that beautiful smell, that crisp fall air that we all know so well. It's almost tangible. And you come across this wooded meadow, and you just hear the music, and it guides you to where the Radiance Festival is. And as you approach it, you just see people literally radiating smiles so big, ear to ear, because you have arrived. And there's no check in your number 567 name, here's your name tag. It's, they call you by name and they say, "You're here! Oh my gosh, you made it! You have to come in here, oh my gosh, it's starting. Get in here." And they call you by name and they hug you and they embrace you. And they hand you a welcome crystal and they tell you, go, explore, have a great time. And you walk in, and you see all of these people dressed so fun. You hear music, you see energy just beaming off of everyone's face. You see a wellness tent, and that just is filled with Reiki healers and massage therapists and essential oils and the most Zen den straight out of Pinterest you've ever seen. And you eat organic foods and you have elixirs and you're just wrapped in this beauty and wellness and you just feel this bliss take over you. And then everyone gets together in a huge circle. Hundreds of people come in a huge circle, hand in hand, holding a meditation for each other, the community, and the world. And then the music picks up, and we all start dancing and jumping and hugging, and we just all see each other, like really see each other, eye to eye. And we're not afraid to say, "I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up and just being yourself." And you have a beautiful day, and you vibrate, and you come home, and everyone just knows something's changed. They don't know what, something's changed. And you go to work, and you carry this energy with you, and we start to change little by little our society, and realize we're not alone, we're together. I see you, you're my brother, I never met before, but I'm so happy to meet you now. And we just carry this energy. That is Radiance Festival. And we really, really want you guys all to feel welcome and invited. And we have a special invite for everyone here. If you get your ticket for Radiance Festival, it's buy one, bring one. So you buy one ticket, you bring a friend. And you bring someone who really, maybe it's your strong friend that you don't check in on a lot. They always seem to have it together. You bring them because you know they need it. Or maybe it's your mom or your dad. Maybe it's your kid. There's no ages. You bring someone you love because you want to experience that with them. And I hope you guys are there. Either way, we're excited to get your questions and get to know all of you even more, because it's not about us, it's not about me, it's about we, no matter what.
Thank you, Monica.
Thanks, Monica. If you guys noticed, I was over at Radiance Festival.
Same.
I don't think there's much more to say about it, to be honest, besides for the fact that it's a really incredible experience. And we're really blessed and fortunate that we've been able to come together and have a unified vision and bring it to life, but we can't do it without you guys. And we don't want to do it without you guys. We are on a mission to bring this really across the world because we see light in every single person in this room, in this city, in this world. So we're on a mission to do that, and we can't do it without you. So we hope to see you there.
Thank you. All right, Justin, bring it home.
I'm gonna make it real quick. Piggybacking off that, I just want to reiterate what Brian said as well about community. We're not throwing this festival for you, we're throwing it with you. You guys are just as involved as us. Any kind of music you love, and if you ever want to talk about music, you want to be a part of our community group on Facebook, and just shoot the shit, and just talk, and throw ideas at us about how we can make Radiance better for you, please do. We want to talk to you guys. But my main mission coming out of this is realizing, or letting you guys realize what your superpower is. Because we all have a superpower deep inside. So, that's it for me.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. This has been very insightful and beautiful. So I appreciate everyone. Give it up for Radiance.
Thank you.
Just looking at the time, we have enough time for like 2 to 3 questions, just out of respect for the space. We want to make sure we're not overstaying our welcome. And then we're going to take it to Pet Shop down the street where we can hang out with Radiance and ask them all the questions we want until that last shot is poured. So, question. Greg's on board with it. Pet up.
I don't need a mic.
Scream.
Okay, I have actually 2 questions.
Careful with her. She's dangerous.
Your face. 2 questions. One is, I know a couple people who would actually be amazing at your festival, like healers. So how do I get them in touch with you? Maybe we can do that afterwards. And then the second question was more for Alexa. When you were talking about technology and how addictive they've made it, do you work with schools, or the kids are particularly susceptible to this? They actually can't control themselves. They usually don't even have the ability to do it because they're still forming. Do you work with schools? Is it something that we should be introducing into schools? Like, I don't know, I'm a parent of a 13-year-old, and I can tell her to put her phone down 50 times a day. Like, put your phone down. But I think it needs to go further than just at home. I think it needs to be a community thing, and that includes schools. So do you work with schools? Come on, guys. Like, how do we, do you, and what is your, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. I think that's a really important one. So ultimately, like, my perspective on it is that until we educate ourselves on the detriments of technology on our social and emotional well-being, we really can't instill that sort of behavior in our children. So it's really important, I think, for our generation who understand that there was a life before this connectivity, how to add those elements of life back into the day-to-day. And once we're educated and aware of the ways to do that, the nuances on how we educate our children then follow suit. Yes, I do think that it needs to be taught in school. I think that it's really important. But again, if the kid leaves school and they go home and their dad is on the phone during dinner, what is really happening? So, totally. So I think, definitely educating in both spaces is really important. But I think with any addiction, it needs to be replaced with a positive behavior. And so I think it's kind of figuring out what behavior can be added to the child's life that they will find fulfilling enough to put the phone down. And I really think that that's our mission as this generation, to educate ourselves on how to do that and then educate our children. And then, of course, that goes to schools as well. So I think definitely starting with ourselves. Because it is so easy to say kids these days. But it's not just kids these days. It's us these days. I walk down the street and people are like stumbling and fumbling with their phone, and they're walking their dog, and their dog is literally pooping in the middle of the road. But they wouldn't even notice. So it's so important for us to have the awareness, how to balance that, and then teach our children. Thank you so much for asking that question.
Can I piggyback after you, Justin?
I'm the dog with the poop. Oh, I'll work on it. I'll be better next time. Thank you for the question.
I'm just going to piggyback one little thing, because I do have 3 very young little sisters, and I relate to that so much. They're 3, 8, and 11, and attached to their phone to the point where they cannot go to dinner without their iPad. If they don't have their iPad, they're not sitting at the table. They throw a temper tantrum. It's terrible. And I tell my parents all the time, I'm just like, listen, you can't tell them to put their iPad down and while you're on your phone. Like, kids are sponges. They watch every little move. And I've been guilty of it too. I'm on my phone on Instagram and I'm like, Sophia, when are you gonna put that thing down? While my phone is in my hand. You know what I mean? And they love me, and I love them so much, and we connect so deeply, is that as soon as they see me on the phone, they're immediately on their phone. And that's how we break that chain, is that we have to set the example. There's no talking about it. We literally have to put our phones down and our laptops away, you know, when it's not necessary. That's all.
Can I piggyback really quick? In regards to like technology, because I love social media, I love technology, I love the power that we have now. I literally lay in my bed and work on Instagram. That's like work for me. But I think regarding technology, it's about self-awareness and then perception and just like how we're using it. Being mindful, being self-aware of how you're using it. Because when we first created fire, I don't think we were the best using. We probably started a couple little fires and some people got burned. When we first like learned to create swords and that kind of stuff so that we could hunt food, like I'm sure we weren't the best at using it. Social media is like in puberty right now, and now we're getting to the point where we're just learning how to use it because we're being more mindful and we're being more self-aware. So it's literally just self-awareness of how we're using it, why you're going on Instagram, you know, creating little tricks and habits of how you use it and how you're using it to benefit your lives. And not so much of seeing the negatives or seeing the positives, but just seeing both sides. Like, yeah, I can see in this instance it could be bad, in this instance it could be really good. I think it's just about seeing the contradictions in everything, since life is a paradox, and I think our goal is to live in the middle of the paradox.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. What's up? Just shout it.
So I got a question for like the group, and the answer can't be meditation. So how do you guys, as like really like high conscious people, go about your day to day without letting people that aren't as high conscious as you like throw you off?
Clear your energy.
Yeah.
You have to clear your energy. I didn't do it for a very, very, very long time, and I went to Sedona and I met this woman, and she was like, Monica, you're insane as a healer that you're going out into the world and not clearing your energy. Literally, you could do it right now. We could all do it right now. You just think of white light, or I do purple light, violet light, going through your body and clearing it out. Or literally, imagery is so, so, so powerful. I actually studied neurolinguistics before I ever got to meditation. Everything I teach is science-backed. I love the human mind. I love human potential. I can get very spiritual because I love it, but I love science. So clearing your energy, any imagery. Imagine yourself dunking into paint, white paint. Imagine yourself taking a shower. Imagine yourself flowers coming down and clearing you, and you just become a garden. Anything you can do to like clear your aura, because we really are energy. And we really do radiate that, and people's energies are going to affect you. People dump their stuff on you, so when people are done like ranting, and they feel like, oh, thanks for listening to me, I feel great, and you're like, well, I feel like shit, you just like dumped all of your negative energy on me, because they literally did. So you have to be able to clear your energy. So that's what I would say to you. Is that not a meditation answer? I don't know.
I definitely relate to that, mainly because I love my family so much, and I don't necessarily feel always that they understand the exploration I've gone through in this like conscious journey. And so one of the challenges for me is that like there's people in my life that I love, and I have to learn and how to be present with them without being frustrated, and that's where the work is. Like the work isn't just about like my journey, my development, my consciousness. It's about like how do you then look at others and be with others. And so like when I'm up against that, that's when I say like, okay, like you're not gonna understand exactly where I'm coming from, so it's my job to understand where you are and then take it in that perspective. And I think that's really where the work comes in. And this is why it's such like a challenging thing, because it is a little bit like isolating. You feel almost like, well, people aren't getting me, so I'm now isolated and now I'm alone and people don't understand me. And so that's the importance of community, is being able to find people who are open to be there for you and to talk through these things. You know, luckily I get to work with these incredible human beings that when I do come against these issues, you know, they get it. And they're like, hey, that happened to me, and we talk through things. So know that you have a community. You guys you're in it, you're here, and there's people all around that can talk about this stuff. So, yeah.
Another thing that I would love to add on to that is if you feel as if you don't have time to meditate or catch your breath, use your language. Because again, vibration is everything, and what we say becomes. If we say, I am tired, I am frustrated, you're identifying with that emotion instead of being, I feel frustrated, which will then lead to the question, why? And also express your words and share with others that you know will be present and listening, because they're gonna catch you on certain things you say. Like when people say to me, oh, I don't know. Stop, you do know. Because as human beings, when we, quote, don't know something, what do? We go figure it out. We go find a way.
Google it.
Yes, yeah, we Google it, thank you. But yes, just use your words. You know, words are super powerful, and that's one thing I love to do, is just help people create a language that allows them to create the life that they desire and deserve. Don't underestimate the power of your words.
All right, let's get one last question in here, and then
Ben,
we're gonna.
can I say something, Ben?
Yes, sir. All right, well, this is gonna have to be the last question.
Screw you.
Screw you, sir.
But you said around like people who are, you know, unaware, have bad vibes, and for a while I went around like observing unconscious behavior and small talk and bad vibration, and it's like, oh, bad vibes, screw you, stay away from me. I'm just filled with good vibes only. But it's power of choice. Back to power of choice that we're gifted as humans. So if you're around a group of friends who are holding you back, or bad conversation, or bad vibes, you can get new friends. You can get out of that situation, that conversation. If it's within your family or a workplace, maybe switch your perception and be like, okay, like this is hard to deal with, but maybe this is just teaching me something about myself. I like to think of things that negatively happen, and when like bad energy comes into my life, of like, okay, like I'm looking at this person as like a master trainer, like, okay, like obviously I got frustrated or angry or this pissed me off. That tells me that this situation told me something that I need to work on within myself, and now I need to go home and dissect it and meditate on that. So it's how you perceive bad vibrations or how people affect you. And if you think, you know, the world's out to get you and like, oh, this is bad, then you're gonna attract that. If that's what you deeply believe, that you're always gonna come across with bad vibes and bad things are gonna happen to you, you're gonna manifest that. That's why people who get homeless and have those just bad thoughts, they're just in that low vibrancy, and they stay in those emotions, they stay in those thoughts, and they manifest more bad things to happen. So we have the power of choice to choose if we want to stay around these kinds of people or these situations, or if work sucks or your boss sucks. You know, look at it as a challenge and then work over time to get out of it. We live long freaking lives, hundreds and hundreds of lifetimes. So it's just the power of choice. Power of choice. You're in control. Now it's learning how to get fully in control. And what I've really learned is that when you learn to let go of understanding or trying to gain control, once I fully like let go of trying to gain control, I gain control. Paradox, live in the middle.
Amen. I think we can squeeze in one last question. Or all right, Miles.
So, seeing as you have like 14 and actually a good number for you, do you ever feel, since you're all like at a certain level, that you push and pull and work with each other? Is there like a always teamwork vibe? You guys are always going. Do you have
we always have our ups and downs, but that's where we grow. You know what I mean? We have 5 different personalities pulling in different directions. And the fact that we can make it work and actually at the end of the day come to a solution, that's a powerful thing. I can speak for every single one of these people that it hasn't been that easy. It hasn't been easy. This festival happened in 2 months. Imagine that. How many things are going on in 2 months? Me dealing with operations. Then we have to, find vendors. Then we have to do sales. Then we have to find a location. There's a lot of things that go into this, and you have 5 different personalities. It's hard, but you have to understand that you have to work through it. And I mean, nothing is gonna, like, we live in such a world where if it doesn't work right away, it's just like, oh, and on to the next one. Relationships don't work that way, So I will say over and over again that I really appreciate this team because we have faced adversity together and got through it together and been successful together and are going to continue to go on together. You know what I mean? So if you guys are ever looking to build a team, have patience. Have patience. One thing I'm learning the most out of anybody on this team is having patience. We do have to wrap it up, but I do want to introduce one more very special person that is on the Radiance team. He is our MC. Fernando, do you want to come over here really quick?
Fernando!
We do. You know what? I'll let him speak from this.
Appreciate it, Jay. What up, squad? How's everybody doing? I know Pet Shop is calling your name, so I'm gonna call him and make it real fast. So definitely just want to acknowledge all of you for being here. We only shared 10% of the type of emotions you're gonna feel at Radiance. Monica did a beautiful job of really visualizing and putting us there. And honestly, if any of that resonated with you, if you've been wanting people to connect with, if you wanted to express emotions and just say, hey, I like your hat, I love you too, and hug somebody, if you want to create an experience with your mom, a daughter, a niece, someone special in your life, this is the type of environment that you do it. We create circles and atmospheres where all of you are literally going to feel at peace. And whether you're that type of person to go into a circle or be in the front or the back of the stage, you're going to feel completely equal because that's the type of environment that we bring. So we do have the opportunity, as Monica alluded to, if you're here with someone or you want to get to know someone, wink, wink, we want to give you the opportunity to buy one, bring one. It's specifically only for you guys, courtesy of Ben, because he's done a lot for us. We want to support him and what he's doing here in Jersey City. So we want to really extend that offer to you. Tickets are usually $40, but today they're going to be $20 because you get to bring one and a friend as well. So please take advantage of that opportunity, and I can't wait to rock out with you on the dance floor. Thank you.
All right, guys. Just to kind of wrap this all up, I just want to thank everyone, the speakers, all of you guys for coming out. This is amazing. I'm kind of really just excited about this for my first meetup. I really wanted to talk about health and wellness because in the tech community, entrepreneurs and everyone, it's easy to just get caught up in the grind and just be working every day and feel like you need to spend every minute being productive and just all the stress and anxiety builds up. But it's good to take care of yourself and look in the mirror and actually focus on your wellness because that, at the end of the day, is the only thing that's going to keep the engine running. So thank you for coming out. One quick last announcement. The next meetup is actually going to be October 24th. It's going to be around AR, VR. So check us out on Meetup and join the group, and there'll be more details. And join us on Instagram at JC Tech Meetup to learn more. Other than that, I'll see y'all at Pet Shop. Just say you're with the Jersey City Tech Meetup to get happy hour all night long. Shots on Kyle.
Yeah. It's time to wake up NYC. Hey.